ॐ वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ श्री महागणपतये नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्धधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्ख्यपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थितदद्गतेन मनसां पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। So namaste once again, everyone.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
Happy Kartik.
Yeah, happy Kartikeya Deepam, Annamalai Deepam to all of you. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Saktamanaf Partha Yogam Yunjan Madhashrayah Asamshayam Samagram Ma Yatagnyasya Sitachruno. So the last class we entered the 7th chapter of the Gita, which, as I said, is the beginning of Madhyama Shatkam, which by and large deals with the topic of Ishvara Swarupa. The Prathama Shatkam dealt with the topic of Jiva Swarupa. So this Shatkam, these 6 chapters will talk more about Ishvara Swarupa. And as I mentioned, the first 3 verses of this chapter happen to be the introductory verses in which Krishna points out what is the subject matter of the 7th chapter, as well as, of course, the chapters up to the 12th chapter. So by following this and other chapters, you will get Ishvara Jnanam completely, which he says consists of my lower nature and higher nature, my Saguna nature and my Nirguna nature, my visible, tangible form, which is my lower nature, and my invisible, intangible, eternal, all-pervading nature, which is my higher nature. And therefore, he says, Samagram Mam Asamshayam Nyasyasi. You will know. Nyasyasi means you will come to know. But then he said, there are conditions attached. It is not that for everybody this is applicable. If you fulfill the conditions, you will come to know. What are the conditions? First condition he said is Mai asakta manah. First of all, you should have a desire to know me. And you will have a desire to know only if God is your destination, isn't it? But even when we go on holidays and all, let's say you go to Spain or some other place, what you will do? What are the things you want to know more about that place? You will go to Google and search what are all the things to be seen there, what is the tourism, tourist spots, etc. So, first of all, you must have a desire to know if only God is your destination. Otherwise, why would you bother? And it is the same thing as having moksha as one's destination, because there is no difference. And we saw, what does moksha mean? Moksha means peace, security, fulfillment, independence, ananda. And Bhagavan alone represents all these because Bhagavan is infinite. And infinite alone is ever secure because it is limitless and abstract. Bhagavan is not bound by time and space and therefore not subject to fluctuations and destruction. Bhagavan is eternal. And that infinite, that eternal entity is called Bhagavan in religion. In spirituality, we call it Brahman. That's all. And since this abstract infinite cannot be conceived, it is symbolized in a particular form like Krishna form, Rama form, etc. The form is finite. Form is not infinite. But the form symbolizes the infinite. For example, we go to a temple. What do we, are we going to see the idol made in stone or pancha loha, whatever it is? No. We go with the attitude that Bhagavan is there. Unseen Bhagavan, the Nirguna Swarupa Bhagavan is there in that and that idol. And it is this eternal security, eternal peace, eternal independence, eternal infinitude, infinitude is called moksha. And therefore, we must remember moksha and Bhagavan are synonymous. And knowing that Bhagavan completely, samagram, is what moksha is all about. So Krishna says, if you are a seeker of moksha, you are a seeker of me, the Lord. And therefore, Mai asakta mana hai. With your mind fixed upon me as your ultimate destination, you should work. And which is called devotion or bhakti. Therefore, Mai asakta mana hai, condition number 1. Then the question would be, what about all other destinations that we have, that we pursue? Getting admission for children in the school, college, getting them married, working for grandchildren. Till now you have worked for children. Now your children are abroad and you are now senior citizen sitting in India. Now you will be called to work for your grandchildren. The best, safest babysitters anybody can get is the grandparents. And then apart from this, buying a house, buying a car, they are all goals. They are all, maybe short-term goals, but indeed they are goals. They are destinations. But they are all incidental destination and not the ultimate. How do we know that? Because when we fulfill one particular goal, you will get peace of mind for some time. Admission got? Oh, thank God. I was praying for this only, that my child should get admission in the nursery with all this competition being there. Great sign of relief. Daughter married off? Wow, very good. You will get peace of mind, all right. But immediately thereafter, what will happen? The next goal will surface. This journey never ends. So what you have fulfilled is like a train journey, as Swami Paramathananda ji compares. Train journey in India, we are talking about. Don't assume train journey elsewhere. What happens? The train will have number of stops in the intermediate stations. So you will get down in a station, have a cup of coffee, and after the coffee, enter the train and continue your journey. Similarly, all these other worldly accomplishments are all what? Those intermediary stations. Your journey will end only when you discover Purnatvam by accomplishing moksha or Bhagawad. And therefore, Mai asakta mana hai, do not lose sight of the goal. Then the second condition. Yogam yunjan. Yogam yunjan means practicing relevant sadhana, which indicates the individual effort, prayatna. Well, yoga includes all the required sadhanas. Karma yoga is a sadhana. Upasana yoga is a sadhana. Shravanam is a sadhana. So here, yoga represents all the required sadhanas depending upon what my level is. What level of spirituality? Am I a beginner? Or have I some exposure to Vedanta? Or I have been studying for quite some time under a qualified teacher. So depending upon various levels, the Shravanam will also change. A beginner will start with Tattva Bodha, whereas an advanced student would have gone to Upanishad study. Still advanced would have gone to PhD stage, Brahma Sutra with Bhashya. It is like, all children cannot be admitted in the same class. Depending upon the level of the student, he or she is admitted either in the first standard or sixth standard, 10th standard, or undergraduate stage, etc. Therefore, depending upon my need, I have to take to karma or upasana or shravanam. So whatever is required, may you do. Do not say Bhagavan will take care. Bhagavan, if I get Bhagavan's blessings, then it will be done. Don't say that. Bhagavan will take care only when I do what I have to do. Because this wrong misconception is there still in many people's mind. Any number of times they hear Vedanta teaching about free will, they get confused. Is my free will is also determined by my destiny? Because I'm surprised that even after so many years, where at least we have been having classes since 2020, 4 years, students still ask the same question. Because that is not very clear in their mind. And that is why I also don't tire to keep answering them. If somebody has got a question in the mind, it is a genuine question, even though he might have actually got the answer, like one student said, when I am listening to the class, everything seems to be clear. But when I go away and try to actually revise, then a lot of doubts come in my mind. which is a very natural thing. Very natural thing. Because when you are listening to the class, it is very difficult to think about what you are learning. You are just, absorbing rather. You will have to digest it later. So once you have actually listened, the Shravanam you have done, you will have to revise it. You will have to take out some time during the week. After all, we have got only one class a week. And then go through what you have learned. For that, you must have notes. Because the study should be taken very seriously. It is not a Ramayanam or Mahabharatam or Bhagavata, Katha Kalakshepa. You listen to it, enjoy for 1 hour, go away and do what you want to do. You can do that, but then no benefit will be there. Therefore, Bhagavan will take care only when I have to do what I have to do. Suppose you are hungry and you pray. And because of his compassion, Bhagavan may bring food. And if you are so lazy, Bhagavan may even put it in your mouth also. But ultimately, the swallowing you have to do. Bhagavan will not take a stick and then push it down your throat. Swallowing part you have to do. And therefore, yogam yunjan. Krishna says, put forth your effort. But at the same time, madashraya hai. Mat ashraya hai. This madashraya is a crucial part. You put in your effort, but madashraya hai. Madashraya means you have to take the grace of Lord also. Do not be arrogant. Do not be overconfident. Do not challenge God. One thing a devotee should know is never challenge God. And therefore, what you do, invoke His grace. As even you are putting your own efforts, pray to Him, invoke His grace. Madashraya. Take refuge in God. Because as we know, when a train is actually climbing a mountain, upper gradient, it passes. It will have two engines. One in the front to pull, another in the back to push. Only then the train will be able to go up the hill and climb the mountain. And similarly, spiritual growth is also an uphill task. We may be thinking, oh, great, I am doing this, I am attending all the classes. I am also revising everything. I am getting the idea. The whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is the transformation in my life. I clearly see that I am getting transformed. My behavior has changed, etc., etc. You may think all that beautiful thing which you want to think. Ask your family members. They will say nothing has changed. All this you are doing is just time pass of no use. You have been attending Gita classes for the last 3.5 years, but I do not see any change. This is what your family members will tell you. My family members tell me that. At least I can be very sure when I make this statement. So you may say that you have improved, but what the family members say is important because they are the victims. They are Sakshi. They know better where you stand. So the spiritual growth takes place millimeter by millimeter only. It takes place by drop. Overnight, you cannot become, achieve everything. And therefore, you require two engines. One is Purusha Prayatna, engine in the front, and Madhashraya, Ishvara Anugraha, the engine behind. And both should be used in such a way that somehow they will help you to reach the destination. And this Madhashraya is also known as Sharanagati. That is Bhakti. And of course, Krishna is presenting all these here only in a nutshell. He will elaborate each of these ideas later. These are all like capsules, like a bomb, Later on, they will be blown up, magnified. Like, we have got these films. If you go to the theater, if you look at the film, it's a small 8 mm or 16 mm or whatever it is, a small film. But when it gets blown up, you see the full picture on the big screen. Like that, Krishna will, here it is only showing the small film. He will magnify everything later. And therefore, now what are the three conditions? First one, keep God as your destination. God means peace of mind, which means fulfillment in life, which means permanent security, which means independence. That is God. So keep God as your goal number one. Number two, what you have to do, you do. Self-effort. Use your free will fully. This is my goal, and this is, I know that this is what I need to do to reach the goal, and I will do it. I will not compromise on it. And then number three, seek the grace of the Lord. Oh Lord, please support me. This is the goal I have chosen. I don't want a rebirth. Because I have found in this birth itself, it is so traumatic, so miserable. I just have to face the world, people. I don't want this experience again. Please relieve me from all my sanchita karmas by showering your grace on me so that my effort, which I am putting, may become successful. So if you are fulfilling these three conditions, you are bound to reach the destination. Samagram mam nyasyasi. You will certainly know me and attain me. Because the biggest Vedantic secret is knowing me itself is going to be attaining me. That is the secret. As we are seeing those students who are Mundaka Upanishad students, we are seeing this in the Mundaka Upanishad. Knowing the Lord will be equivalent to attaining the Lord. Brahmavid apnoti param. Brahmavid brahmaiva bhavati. Upanishads have got a lot of such statements. So when you know God completely, you will realize that God has never been away from me. I am that very embodiment of that God, which I did not know because of my ignorance all along. That is the secret which Vedanta will relieve. Ultimately, that will be relieved. So, yata jnasyasi tachrunu. This is going to be the topic. Knowing about me, fully about me, and therefore, Arjuna, listen carefully. Krishna continues. Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshyamya seshatah yajnatva neha bhuyonyat jnatavyam avasishyate. So the Anvaya of this sloka is Aham Aseshatah Vakshyami Te Idam Jnanam Savijnanam Jnatva Yat Na Anyat Bhuyah Avasishyate Jnatavyam Iha. Same thing, Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. Then the Mundaka Upanishad statement, because we have not come to that sloka in the Mundaka Upanishad. By knowing what, I would have known everything else. That is what Krishna is paraphrasing here and stating it differently. Aham aseshatah vakshyami. I will completely impart, completely teach, te to you. Idam jnanam, this jnanam, this knowledge, savijnanam, along with vijnanam, this knowledge along with, I can call it higher, the lower knowledge along with higher knowledge. Jnatva yat, gaining which knowledge, na anyat bhuyaha, nothing more, avasishyate, remains, jnatavyam, to be known, iha, in this life. So I shall completely impart to you this jnanam along with vijnanam, gaining which knowledge, nothing more remains to be known in this life. So as I said, second sloka, Krishna continues with the introduction. In the first verse, he said, you are going to get Ishvara Jnanam completely. And we saw that complete Jnanam means knowledge of both higher Nirguna Swarupam and lower Saguna Swarupam. Both knowledge I am going to give you. So Saguna Ishvara Jnanam and Nirguna Ishvara Jnanam. And here, Saguna Ishvara Jnanam is given a technical name as just Jnanam. And Nirguna Ishvara Jnanam is given another technical name as Vijnanam. So when Krishna is talking about Jnanam and Vijnanam, we must understand Jnanam refers to Saguna Ishvara Jnanam and Nirgunam refers to, Vijnanam refers to Nirguna Ishvara Jnanam. So here we must not misunderstand, because the word Vijnanam is very oftenly used to denote science or material sciences. Here Vijnanam means Vishesha Jnanam, which is Nirguna Ishvara Jnanam, higher nature of Ishvara, which is without any attributes. And since the higher nature of Ishvara is without attributes, it will be too abstract for a beginner either to conceive or worship. It is incomprehensible for a beginner. Because as a beginner, when he is coming from a total state of ajnana, for him, what is pratyaksha or maximum what is anumana are only the reality. What he doesn't see is not a reality for him, and Nirguna Ishvara, you cannot see. Formless. So how can you conceive a formless, attributeless God? How can you express your devotion to such a Lord? And therefore, everyone has to start from lower Saguna Ishvara, tangible Ishvara, with a name and form, with whom we can relate and who can be celebrated by us. We can sing that glory of that Lord, like in Madhurashtakam. Adharam Maduram Vadanam Maduram Nayanam Maduram Hasitam Maduram Hridayam Maduram Gamanam Maduram Maduradipate Akhilam Maduram. All these things. Songs we can sing. Beautiful eyes, beautiful lips, beautiful heart. All descriptions are there, tangible, which you can conceive. Conceive, and then you can visualize and you can pray. You can even meditate on that God. And therefore, scriptures prescribed jnanam as the first stage and vijnanam as the next stage. And therefore, everybody should travel from sagunam to nirgunam, from dvaitam to advaitam, from concrete to abstract, from jnanam to vijnanam. And therefore, Krishna says, Arjuna, don't worry. I will give you both jnanam as well as vijnanam. Therefore, he says, aham te idam jnanam savijnanam aseshatah vakshyami. I will reveal both completely, doubtlessly, convincingly, rationally, and logically. Nothing will be left to any doubt. This knowledge will be so comprehensive and so complete that all your intellectual questions regarding the world, God, and your own self will be answered. Because the human intellect wants to know three basic things. That curiosity or that thirst for knowledge is there in every human being, and even we experience this in the early childhood also. Even from our young age, we have this question. We want to know what world is. We want to know what God is. Our first question is there an Ishvara? Is there a God? And if there is one, what is the nature of that God? So questions regarding the world, questions regarding God, and questions, of course, regarding me. Why am I born? In Tamil, they say, Nanen Pirande. I think there is a song also in one of the old Tamil films. Something like that. I remember very vaguely. Where will I go after death? This is a very, very important question everybody has got. So we see these questions beautifully described in Bhajagovindam. Kastvam koham kuta ayata hai, kame janani ko me tata hai, iti paribhavaya sarvam asaram, vishwam tyaktva swapna vicharam. Adi Shankara makes it very beautiful in Bhajagovindam. So these questions regarding myself are always there. Who am I? Where have I come from? Where am I going? And we have asked all these questions to the parents probably. And they themselves did not know the answer. So they will say, forget all these things, go and study. Or shut up. They will say something to divert our attention because they themselves don't know the answer. And they would have probably asked the same question to their parents and got the same response. And after some time, we will keep asking, we will become tired, not getting answer, and we would have dropped those questions. And not only that, as we grow up, other worries have come and occupy our mind and displace all these fundamental questions, and then we carry on. These questions never surface in our mind again. But until these questions are answered, human curiosity will be there. This curiosity to know what God is, what world is, what you are, and also the relationship amongst the three will always be there. So Krishna says, all these three things I am going to give. It is like a trailer, what these days, popularly called a teaser. Teaser advertisement. Something like that. All questions represent samsara or bondage. In fact, a person experiences samsara or bondage at 3 levels. There are gross people for whom samsara is only at the physical level. All the time they will talk about their body, their fitness, their diseases, their old age. They will talk about death. So their samsara is at the grossest body level. And then there are some advanced people. They are, of course, not much bothered about the physical condition, but they feel the emotional needs of life are more. They will say, I am fine, my health is also very good. My children take care of me very well, but they do not spend time with me. They are all abroad and they don't even call me once a week. I can understand during weekdays they will be busy, but at least one call during the weekend they can do. They do not ask me whether I am alive or not. Why can't they ask me how I am keeping? They know that I have got all these problems, health problems, I am getting old. So the need is no more physical but emotional deprivation. And that is why they look for someone. Anybody comes, they want to talk. In fact, I've heard about it, not exactly seen. People who have worked in a bank for a long time or any organization, of course, bank is easier. Other organization may have security issues. They worked in a bank for a long time and have retired. And they are now suffering from loneliness. Spouse is there, but spouse is also busy with her own or his own life. What these people do, they will go to the bank, preferably after lunch, and spend some time talking to people, fulfilling their emotional needs. Their emotional need for love, care, compassion, inquiry, companionship, they try to fulfill in some way or the other. And as long as I depend on external factors for emotional fulfillment, I am a samsari. The first person is a grosser samsari because of his physical dependence. This fellow is an emotional samsari because he is not independent, he has dependence. And there is a third category, subtler and higher samsari. His need is neither physical nor emotional. It is intellectual. Most of the scientists come under that. Even I have seen Sanskrit students come under that. They will go on deep into Sanskrit grammar. For what purpose? Bhagawad knows. You must study grammar to the extent that you are able to understand what is being taught in Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita, etc. That does not require you to dissect Paninian grammar, left, right, and center, and have intellectual debates with other students. Not necessary. But that is the intellectual samsara. As I said, scientists also come under that. They have got burning questions regarding creation. When did creation come? What is the purpose of our birth, etc. We feel such questions are a waste of time. Or they will study skeleton and all that, all this go on digging. When did the first human being come? They want to know, how did life start? What is the individual? What is consciousness? Is death the end of living being or something more? So these burning philosophical questions also afflict them. They have no time to talk to their spouse, spend time with family, etc., as they do not feel the need. In fact, Swami Paramathanandaji gives a good example. A wife was crying and complaining to a husband who was deep in chemistry research. Her complaint was, you do not see tears in my eyes, you do not spend time with me, etc. Blah, blah, blah. No? You don't understand my condition. Then this fellow, the chemistry research person, says, I know, I have seen tears in your eyes. It is NaCl H2O. They are nothing but water and a little salt. If it goes in your mouth, it is salty. And that is what tears are made of. That is his answer. So he does not see the emotional deprivation in the tears. He sees only the chemical components of the tears because his worry, his approach is intellectual. This is the third type of samsara. And Vedanta solves this samsara at all three levels. It gives you emotional fulfillment. It gives you intellectual fulfillment. And you find all the fundamental questions regarding Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara get resolved. Chidyante hridaya grantihi kshiyante sarva samshaya. So Krishna says, Aham jnanam vakshyami. I shall impart to you Saguna Ishvara Jnanam along with Savijnanam, Nirguna Ishvara Jnanam. And here again, Krishna is hinting at another secret. When a person is at Saguna Ishvara Jnanam level, that person will see a division between God and the devotee. At the Sagunam level, there is a difference between God and devotee. But when a person elevates himself and knows the Nirguna Swarupam, to his utter surprise, he finds that the difference between God and the individual is gone, vanished, removed. It is like the wave and the ocean. As long as you look at the wave and the ocean from the name and form standpoint, they are different. Names are different. One is called the wave, the other is called the ocean. Forms are also different. A wave is a small wavy form, as if it is running towards the shore. Whereas an ocean has got a vast magnitude, silent. So you see the ocean as different, the wave as different. So when you observe at the name and form level, you see the difference. But when you go to the essential nature of both, ask a question, what is the content of the wave? What is the essence of the wave? You will find that wave is essentially water. When you say, what is the content of the ocean? What is the essence of the ocean? Ocean is also essentially water. So the difference, when you are actually looking at them from name and form level, vanishes when you understand them at their level of their essence. And you find that the wave and water are no longer distinct. Similarly, Saguna Jnanam means Bheda Jnanam. Bhedam means difference. Difference between God and Jiva. Nirguna Jnanam means Abheda Jnanam. Non-difference. Oneness between Jiva and Ishvara. Thus, Jnanam is equal to Bheda Jnanam. Vijnanam is equal to Abheda Jnanam. Jnanam is equal to Dvaita Jnanam. Vijnanam is equal to Advaita Jnanam. So Krishna says, I am going to give you both Dvaitam and Advaita Jnanam. How? aseshataha, thoroughly, totally. Until you say, I have understood, it is enough. Until you say, alam, that means enough, I will keep on teaching you tirelessly. Aseshataha bhakshyami. And how will you benefit from this knowledge? He says, Yat jnatva na iham bhuyah anyat jnatavyam avasishyate. Having gained this knowledge, you will have nothing more to know. Your intellect will get total satisfaction. All your intellectual questions will be resolved. As we are seeing, the same idea is stated in Mundaka Upanishad. When Sishya Shaunaka asked Angiras, the teacher, the question, in the third mantra, we have not come to that. Kasminnu bhagavo vijñate sarvamidam vijñatam bhavati. What is that knowing which everything else is known? That idea Krishna brings here by saying, Yat jnatva na iham bhuyah anyat jnatavyam avasishyate. So now Krishna continues the third sloka. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschidyatati siddhaye yatatamapi siddhanam kaschinmam veti tatvatah. So Anvaya is sahasreshu manushyanam kaschit yatati siddhaye api siddhanam yatatam kaschit veti mam tatvatah. Sahasreshu manushyanam, among thousands of human beings. Kaschit yatati, a rare one strives. Siddhaye, for liberation. Api siddhanam, even among those seekers. Yatatam, who strive. Kaschit, a rare one. Veti mam, knows me. Tatvatah, in reality. So among thousands of human beings, a rare one strives for liberation. Even among those seekers who strive, a rare one comes to know me in reality. So here in this verse, Krishna is talking about the glory of this knowledge. Ishvara Jnana Prashamsa. The glory of the knowledge of God, both in his lower nature and higher nature. So Saguna Nirguna Ishvara Sarupa Jnana Prashamsa. And like we are seeing in Mundaka Upanishad also, the knowledge is glorified in the scriptures in various ways. In Mundaka Upanishad, it was glorified that Brahmaji was the first teacher, Pratamaha Sambhabuva, etc. was said. Creator, and also Palayita, the protector, etc. Such a great person, he gave this Vidya. So that way the knowledge is glorified. Here Krishna says, using different parameters, he says this knowledge is extremely rare. So the glory of this knowledge is its rareness. Because we know something, if we know something is extremely rare, we would like to possess that, isn't it? Show our neighbors. And if they don't, and if they try to get it and miserably fail, we will feel very happy. That's why, many of these things, these cars and all that, they come with some special edition. Only few number of such cars are produced. And once they are sold, no more reproduction. So people who own those cars are having some rare possession. That is how they glorify the brand of their car. And this is human psychology. We want to have something which others don't have, so that you are considered special. And Krishna uses that human psychology here. He says this knowledge is a rare one. Very few people have it. And why is this knowledge very rare? Because majority of people are busy pursuing so many other things in life. The scriptures talk about four purusharthas: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Throughout their life, till the last breath, in fact, most people, a vast majority, are busy chasing dharma, artha, and kama purusharthas. Very few people are interested in moksha. In fact, they have a misunderstanding of what moksha means also. And therefore, they, towards the later stage in life, they are more focused on dharma, punya, earning more and more punya, and in the process, probably earning some papa also. What they don't realize is that you will get moksha only when you get rid of punya papa. Even what you have got in your account also you have to get rid. But these people, without understanding what moksha is, they will go on, more and earning more and more and accumulating more and more punya and papa. And if you talk about Vedantic moksha, they will say, we will, okay, good. But I've got so many other things to do. We will take care of that after fulfilling the dharma, artha, kama. In fact, there is a saying in Tamil. Those who know Tamil will know what the saying is. I'll just translate it. They say that a person wanted to have a bath in the ocean. And he said he went to the ocean, he found that there are a lot of waves. So he says, I will take a bath in the ocean after the waves have subsided. Will he ever be able to do that? Take a bath? So similarly, here also, people go on postponing. Rarely few people desire for moksha. That is called mokshecha. So only very few persons, first of all, have got mokshecha. And even if a person develops a desire for moksha, most of them do not know what is the means of attaining that moksha, that inner freedom. They do not know how it comes. And therefore, they are carried away by so many ideas. And therefore, even among those who desire moksha, very few people know the method. What is the method? Ishvara jnanat eva moksha. This majority don't know. Only very few people know that if I want moksha, I require Ishvara Jnanat. Jnanat evatu kaivalyam. So we can sum up the whole situation. Among the masses, the number of people wanting moksha is few. Even among those few people who want Ishvara Jnanam is less. And even those who want Ishvara Jnanam, who are interested in Ishvara Jnanam, majority does not know how to get Ishvara Jnanam. And therefore, they try all kinds of things for getting knowledge, not knowing the right method. And not knowing that the only method of gaining Ishvara Jnanam, which Krishna himself presented in the 4th chapter, is what? Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So the only means of getting Ishvara Jnanam is Guru Shastra Upadesha Sravanam. Shravanam or inquiry into or exposing oneself to the teaching of the Shastra by a competent Acharya. So Guru Shastra Upadeshat Shravanam is the only method of knowledge, and majority of people do not know this. Only a very few people know this. Perhaps 1 in a million, or I don't know, 1 in a trillion may be interested in moksha. Of that, 50% do not know Ishvara Jnanam is the means. Still half of that do not know Guru Shastra Upadesha is the means. So after all this filtration process, there are only very few who know that Shastra Vichara is the only means to gain Ishvara Jnana. And then Krishna says, among those people, because of some punya, who have recognized the importance of Shastra Vichara, there also majority do not understand what is taught. So they may be there, large number of people, but do they really understand and what is being taught, and they try to transform their lives? So now you can understand how very, very, very few people have this knowledge. And therefore, this is the rarest form of wisdom. And so Krishna says, Manushyanam Sahasreshu, amongst the thousands and millions of people, Kaschit, only some rare people, Yatati, strive in the right direction. In the right direction means Guru, Shastra, Upadesha, Sravanam, they do. They use their free will for exposing themselves to the scriptural teaching. And for what? Siddhaye. Siddhi here means inner freedom, inner security. Because according to Shastra, ultimately insecurity is only a notion in our mind born out of ignorance. Insecurity is a sense. And that is why, as long as we do not attack that inner sense of insecurity, whatever be the security you have outside, that will never give the sense of security. Because really, the security does not come from outside. Especially in India, people will remember very well. One of the prime ministers was killed by the security staff itself. The so-called external security whom you employ to protect you become killers themselves. And therefore, insecurity is not a fact, but it's a mistaken notion in our mind. And any mistaken notion which arises because of ignorance of the reality can go through only knowledge alone. And that freedom from insecurity gained by knowledge is called Siddhi. So Krishna says a very few people try for this Siddhi. And even if they do, Siddhanam api. Here Siddhanam, we must take it as Sadhakanam, seekers. We have to note this very, very carefully. Here, Siddhanam, Siddhi means inner security. Siddhanam does not mean one who has attained Siddhi. Here, Krishna is using the word Siddhanam in the meaning of those who strive, the Sadhakanam. Among those seekers also, Yatatam, who are striving in the right direction. They have understood that the problem is within, not external security, not money, not house, none of them. They have understood that all these things are required for survival and not for inner security. So a few people have understood and they want to get rid of this sense of insecurity. But among them also very few people succeed in discovering that inner security. And therefore, yatatam api, even among those who strive in the right direction, kaschit, a few people, mam veti, gain my knowledge. We'll see more in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Namaskaram.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaste.
Namaste. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Guruji.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Sunil,
Sorry.
I said I have no question.
Yeah, please.
No, I said I have no question.
Oh, you have no questions. I thought I heard it. I have two questions. No, okay.
No. I have no question today.
Okay. Thank you. Right. Anybody else has got any questions? No hands.
Namaste, Guruji. I have not put my hand up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the session, Guruji. Yeah, as you started off, there is some questions you answered so many times. They just keep on coming back again and again. Just this morning again, when I was kind of trying to sit for meditation, again the same question as to when will you you're on the right path now, thanks to the universe and thanks to you in our lives, Guruji. But yes, just when you think you're making a little progress, you take one step forward, you think you are taking 10 steps backward. So again, the same question as to, once you had answered this question, like if one were to start from ground zero, where there's no kind of karma from the past, everybody is starting with a clean slate, and everybody is blessed with free will. So in that situation, what makes some minds make use of the same free will to do the right thing, and some minds to do not to do the right things? There's no answer, I guess, for that.
Ishwara answer is the Ishwara Anugraha.
No, Ishwara Anugraha is there.
See, Ishwara Anugraha is there. That will actually impel you. Because free will is there. They will have free will for doing so many other things.
Yes.
That time they will not say, oh, this is my karma, that is why I am doing this. I am doing this. Right? Free will.
Yes.
That ego will be very fantastic. And then
yes,
when it comes to this, we will ask a question, why I am not able to. This is a typical Duryodhana conundrum.
No, Guruji, I think I have not been able to my question properly. Free will also, everybody is blessed with free will as well. And Ishwara Anugraha is always there on anyone all the time. But then what makes some people do the right things and some people not do the right things? I'm talking about the ground zero, where there's no sanchita karma, where there's no past experience.
Yes, so that is very simple. What we mean by Ishwara Anugraha? How will you gain Ishwara Anugraha? You will gain Ishwara Anugraha if you have got lot of punyam in your karma account. Correct?
Yes, Guruji.
So, to begin with, you have to have the currency.
Yes,
so
yes.
People who are not having enough currency or the correct currency for the purpose of this study will not be impelled to use their free will, even to know, forget doing it, to know such a thing is there. Understand? For
That's
that
true.
itself, ground zero, you must have some punya in your account. You must
No, when it's ground zero, how will we get punya, Guruji?
You have got a Sanchita karmas with you, no? You're brought forward karmas.
No, ground zero, I meant the creation.
Creation.
Yes, Guruji,
Oh,
that's what I
okay.
meant. Sorry.
Ground zero means creation. Creation are rishis. You're seeing Mundakopanishad, right?
Yes.
How it is that you are Rishi, great Rishi, Brahmaji himself, such an exalted, person who creates everything. He is a teacher. He is the one who is giving this, and to whom he is giving, the person closest to him. He need not go around looking for any student. His son is there, Atharva, he is teaching him. That
Yes,
is how
Guruji.
it starts. So ground zero is, you don't need. Ground zero is relevant only for the first teacher, Bhagavan himself.
Now, I have taken birth several times before, several hundred times before, several crores times before. So when I first took birth as Jiva, when there is no past karma, so what makes me do either? I have the free will as well, and I have the Ishvara's blessing as well, because I have just taken birth. But then what makes one or anyone or me do the right or the wrong thing? That was what I'm not sure whether my question is relevant or.
It is relevant and not relevant because of two reasons. Number one, assume the situation you are born, right? As a jiva. You
Yes,
have no
Guruji.
punya papa in your account.
Yes, Guruji, that's what I meant.
What is it that will start accumulating punya papa in your account?
My karmas.
Correct?
Yeah.
How do you perform your karmas?
Using my free will.
Right? So,
Yes.
whether punya papa are coming first or free will is coming first?
Free will comes first.
Free will comes. So, you are born, zero karma balance.
Yeah.
You use your free will, you do karmas, you earn punya, some papa, and this goes on. That's how the whole account starts. I mean, it's all hypothetically speaking. Because
Yes.
as per Shastra, nobody knows when the first jiva was born. It's anadi. Correct. So we cannot say definitely this is how it has happened, but hypothetically, if you assume a situation, imagine a situation, this is how it happens.
Yes.
Even today, Bhagavan says, I am going to now erase all your punya papas of the past. I am giving you a fresh chance. Right?
Okay, Guruji. Yeah.
How will we earn punya papa again? If for getting that grace of God, using free will only.
Oh.
So free will is always there. We get punya papa only because of our right use or wrong use of free will.
That's what my question was meant to be. I'm born without any punya, without any karma from the past, and I have born now with a free will. So what directs me to know what is right or what is wrong?
Punya which you have got.
Okay.
If you assume you have no punya, then the first birth, zero.
Yes, good.
As I said, you ground zero.
Yeah, ground zero. Yes, Guruji.
If you are not born to a rishi, who is already a Brahmavit,
yeah,
and who chooses to teach you,
yes,
then you have to first earn the punya. Then that punya will act in one of those subsequent births.
Okay.
To make you interested in this.
Okay.
Get it now?
Yes, Guruji.
I have explained it to the best of my ability.
Yes, Guruji. You have. Thank you very much. Thank you for the very, what shall I say? You have answered this question several times before, and then I don't know. It
It's okay,
just keeps
because
popping up again and again.
you have to keep on, because this Punya Papa, destiny versus free will is a debate which is never ending debate. Because we can very well easily get reduced or get into a misconception that everything that happens in my life is already destined.
Mm.
One way it is true, because as I keep on saying, Punya Papa does not determine your life, they present you with circumstances.
Yeah. Then using your free will,
Then
you have to
using your
decide
free will,
what
you
do.
choose what is to be done, not to be done.
Yes, Guruji. That you that's
Yeah.
very
So,
clear.
a person, as I gave you so many examples, a
Yes.
person may be with the Swamiji, who is a liberated person for years together.
Mm.
He will not get moksha. He will not even thought of study. Swami Dayanand Saraswati, there are so many people associated with him.
Yes.
They will never even think. There are doctors who attend to him every day. So many people come, but they will never ever think of all these, what he is teaching. Right?
So, Guruji, yeah,
That's the
that
thing.
way, that way we all feel blessed that we are here on this journey
We
with
must
you.
not think karma drives our life. Karma presents past karma's present situation in our life.
I
For
think that's
us,
something very important for us to remember.
very
all the time.
important that people forget. It does not determine. What determines what happens is what you are going to do about that situation. That is what determines what will happen to you.
Yes, I think that's one $1 million thought we have to keep in the mind all the time.
That is the crux. If you understand that, then no problem.
Yes. Thank you very much,
Hari
Guruji.
Om.
Thank you very much for your time and explanation. Hari Om, Guruji. Hari Om.
Yes,
Thank you.
Srinathji, what's your question?
Guruji is Srikanth here.
Srikant.
Yeah. Actually, there cannot be a blank karma slate for birth to happen, right? Birth cannot happen if Papa Punya is not there.
Correct, but that is why we say it is Anadi.
Hmm.
Simple answer to the question is we don't know the answer. Shastra said, I don't know the answer. But then if you insist hypothetically that assume this, then we will say this is the answer. That's all.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
you're right. I mean, for birth to happen, because one thing is there. Unlike other, systems or religions, we don't say we have come from monkey or something like that. That theory of evolution we don't believe in. For us, the first to be born were very super intellectually, powerful rishis. They were the first to be born. And they were humans. And they received all this message because of their, power out of meditation and their yoga. They received all these Veda mantras and then they gave it to the world. So far as human beings were the first to be born. That is how, then in that case, you will ask how the rishis will come. They were created because Brahmaji, when the creation, well, it is all Maya. When you look at creation and Maya, anything can happen. Isn't it? Now you go to a magic show, that magician, he pulls out a rabbit out of a hat. Now we should not ask the question, oh, is that rabbit I was in a previous Janma, a human being, it had Punya Papa, and it had Papa, because of that rabbit is now born as a rabbit, etc. If you ask such a thing, it will be meaningless. He is a magician. He is a, what they call the Maya Jal fellow. So he produces. And for a magician, all these things are possible. For Maya also, everything is possible. So we cannot question how all these things happened and all. Maya, everything is possible. Creation, everything is possible. That is the actual right answer to this. We should not ask these questions. But her question was hypothetically, yes, fine. Hypothetically also, a person is born as a human being. Now you can say, how can he be born as a human being? He should have been born. For any type of birth, you require a past punya papa, correct? Even if you have to be born as a worm, it will be because of. And if you have no past record, how can you get admitted? That's the question. And that's why Veda, our scriptures play very safe. So don't ask such questions. And second thing Vedanta says, is that answer to the question going to help you in any way? It's not going to help you in any way in attaining moksha. You may have thousands of such questions, but ultimately what is meant? What you have now, you have made up your mind, I want moksha. This is what I am telling you. This is the route to go to moksha. Now you take that route and go. Why you are bothered about all these things, other people, whether that fellow has got moksha or not? Don't worry about all. Moksha is your pursuit. It is your personal thing. Want to do it. This is the way. That's it. That is how scriptures tackle these kind of questions.
Thank you, Guruji.
Sorry? Okay, any more question? Okay,
Thank you, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Namaskar. We'll close and continue next Friday.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaskaram to you. Thank you.
Namaskaram.